Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kop-Ish.
Hello, lovely people. I hope you're well. Welcome back to another live match preview. Shout out to Robbie D in the chat, who actually is the reason why the thumbnail and the title is now correct. Otherwise, I'd have got it completely wrong. So shout out to Robbie D. Shout out to the community as a whole as well. Liverpool are back in the league. Last time out against Nottingham Forest, they lost. However, the last game we played away against a team wearing red and black, and we beat them 3-1. Rinse and repeat, surely, no? Drift, how you doing this afternoon, bro?
I'm all right, bro. I'm all right. Yesterday made it feel a little bit, back to normal as such. So, yeah. I'm feeling. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still a little apprehensive about this game based on the previous result, but yesterday made me feel a little bit, better.
Going into this game, would you say that Bournemouth are a better outfit than Nottingham Forest, though, in terms of the dangers they can have, especially after losing Solanke as well? Would you still say they're as threatening as they were previously?
Without Solanke, they've obviously lost a little bit of that edge that they had last year. But I definitely think they're a better footballing team than Nottingham Forest. They'll put the ball down and actually play more. Do you get what I mean? So yeah. It could play into our hands, so to speak. Because normally what happens when you play against the smaller teams is if they do the whole being defensive or whatever, they cause disruption to you and how you play. Whereas if they play football, as long as you're on it, you should be able to win because you should have the better footballers, you should have the better manager, etc., etc. So I would probably say Bournemouth could end up being easier, even though they're better. But at the same time, who knows? Because if they're having a great day, then they could just pass us off the park or whatever. We're going to have to make sure we're on it.
Yeah, completely agree. Looking at Bournemouth's team, so a couple of players who are really good. So you got Alex Scott, who was highly touted. You got Dean Huijsen, who is, if I'm not mistaken, is on loan from Roma, who's a very tall defender and very, very good, a really good defender. It depends on if he's match fit or not yet. Ines Unal. They've got Semenyo, who I think is a threat. Tavernier's good. Justin Kluivert, we all know about. Kirkes, I know Matt's a massive fan of Kirkes as well. Where do you think their threats lie? Would you say it is down their flanks, especially now, again, no Solanke, even Nilsson's kind of unproven, even though he did cost a good amount of money. Would you say the threat is coming from their flanks? And if so, how do we combat that?
Probably. Yeah, probably. We kind of live in a weird world of football now where most teams' threat is wide, isn't it? There isn't really as much emphasis anymore on down the middle, apart from maybe City with Haaland. There isn't much. It is more normally the wide players now, isn't it? I'm trying to think if there's any teams that are more direct down the middle and their striker is the overall main threat.
Yeah,
I can't really think. Even teams like Fulham and stuff, innit? Nottingham Forest, you're still the wide players that are probably more of the threat than the actual striker is.
Yeah.
I think that's just the way football is at the moment. So yeah, I would say down the wing, but I think they're just a good football team in terms of the way they play football, though. So they can probably create a threat out of different scenarios.
Yeah,
but how we cope with it, Ben's got to have another good game like he did the other day. Yesterday, because he had a very good game against Liao. Apart from the opening goal, which sounds stupid to praise someone, but a goal was scored from it. Tsimikas did well at fullback as well yesterday, apart from the first 5 minutes. Robbo is a good one-on-one defender. Gomez is a good one-on-one defender. We should be able to handle a team who's got the wide threat in that way. We have players who, for the most part, Bradley's good at one-on-ones. I know, obviously, that thing happened to him the other day, but he had just come on the pitch. So it could have been that he was just cold into the match.
No. Sorry, Dan J set me off. Sorry.
Yeah, do you know, ironically, about an hour ago, I was actually watching back our show from yesterday because somebody left the timestamp about the duct tape bit, and I was watching it. And yeah, it was funny, man.
Oh man. Obviously last time against Nottingham Forest, we didn't win. I know we always say as Liverpool fans, every game's a must win, but is this particularly a must win at Anfield? Back-to-back losses is kind of unheard of apart from that one COVID season. Do we really have to make sure here, especially with the new manager and everything? Otherwise, is there going to start to be doubt creeping in?
Yeah, well, my doubt will start to creep in.
Oh, one set, bro. I'll be one set, literally.
Yeah. My doubt will definitely start to creep in if we don't win this game, because if you're going to do anything this season, and I'm not even just necessarily talking about the league when I say do anything this season, because hopefully if we don't win the league, we can still pick up like a domestic cup or whatever. But if you don't win in your first, what would have been one home game win, one home game loss? Yeah, you can't be losing 2 out of your 3 home games right at the beginning of the season. Otherwise, 2 things are going to happen from it. A, you're going to make everybody realize that you can be got at, and then teams will come to Anfield with more confidence. Because Forest, people might think fluke one off. Forest and Bournemouth, and everyone will be like, oh, so it's just easy to win at Anfield.
Yeah.
And it'll start giving teams
they're not bullies anymore.
Yeah. And then on top of that, what would even be worse is you've already dropped too much ground to do anything.
Yeah.
And then it does affect the cup games, I think, because then the confidence levels are starting to get a bit fragile. Do you know what I mean? And you start realizing, that's why I'm really impressed with yesterday's win, because the team showed they still believe in themselves. Because to lose to Nottingham Forest and then go 1-0 down in the first 5 minutes, you can really wet the bed in that scenario if you don't have the self-belief, or you don't. Do you get what I mean? That can turn ugly really quickly if you're not in the right frame of mind. So I'm really impressed with the fact that we just turned it round so comfortably yesterday. And, you know, and obviously AC Milan are a better team than Nottingham Forest. So it wasn't like we was playing a team of the same level. It was like, no, this is actually a team with some pedigree in it. So it's like, well, we've actually got to like pull our socks up here. And we did. And we won convincingly. And I'm hoping that that Nottingham Forest game is what I told everybody it was when I asked everyone not to panic. It's just one of those unexplainable, weird games that can happen at any point of the season. Just like the Watford game when we won the league. And you're like, how did this even happen? How are we 28 games unbeaten, and then we go to lowly gonna be relegated Watford and get beat 3-0? How's that shit even happen?
Yeah,
because these random
we were burning out that season though, because we were really pushing from the first minute of the first game.
I hear you.
I wasn't massively shocked that we lost. It was probably the
you must have been shocked that we lost 3-0 and comfortably.
No, yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's a score line that was shocking. Not that we lost, because that was what the first loss. That was our 28th game or something like that.
Yeah, we was unbeaten up until that point. Remember?
And remember, we literally not just unbeaten. We only had dropped 2 points all season.
Yeah, the draw against Man United, didn't it?
Which shouldn't have even been a draw, because Origi got fouled on the halfway line. Rashford went through and scored.
We got robbed. Yeah, so that should have been 28 straight wins. It should have been an absolute record, bro, in the Premier League. Right then. Yeah. So that's why football's crazy, because there's just so many times in life where you just think, bloody hell, how's that happened? And I'm just hoping Nottingham Forest is one of those.
All right, quickly come and say hello and then straight back in there, please. Okay. All right, it's not a joke, Rob. Come on, quickly. It's just Uncle Drift on today. Come on, quickly. All right, I know it hurt you. Come and say hello to Uncle Drifty.
Ouch.
Say hello to Uncle.
Hello, Uncle.
Yeah, little man. You good? You doing some construction work in your vest, yeah? Oh, Daddy, no.
You're not doing any building work, are you? All right. You meant to say no to that, Robbie.
I did no answer, Rob. It's the giveaway. The giveaway, Rob. It's the giveaway.
No, go and get the phone and you can sit down quickly.
I'll just sit on your lap.
No. Come on. You spoke about this. Yeah, don't ruin the evening. Don't drink no juice.
Huh?
Close the door, please. Quickly, close the door. Yeah, don't drink any juice. Go and sit down. All right, quickly.
What are you saying? You're on the detox. So everyone's on a detox. Yeah. Government juice only.
No, do you know? To be fair to Robbie, Stevie drinks juice, but Robbie actually only drinks water. He doesn't even like juice. Like, it's really weird. And he
really
don't
good,
look.
bro.
I know, yeah, but he don't look like me either. So it's making me start to ask questions, in it. So, but yeah, that's a different show, isn't it? No,
Hey, Cameron, don't give me a joke. Man said rob the builder, you know. Cal's got one out here doing construction work.
Right. Slot hasn't really rotated so far this season. Do you think he will this game?
Well, the funny thing is, he was asked about that in was it the post game or the pre game? I think it might have been the post game interview yesterday. He was asked about, like, you know, his rotational stuff, and apparently he said that it's a myth he doesn't rotate. I don't know if he's trying to save face or not, but he was acting like when when the presenter said it, that they were kind of like completely wrong.
I mean,
so I remember I didn't watch enough of final to know like how much he rotates and stuff like that.
We literally made two changes to start. No, 3 changes to starting 11 since the first game of the season. That's Kanate in for Kwanzaa, and then yesterday was Tsimikas and Gakpo in for Robbo and Diaz.
But I don't think that means that he's not a rotational type manager. Maybe just
I'm
moment.
I'm not accusing him of that. I'm just saying from like evidence at Liverpool, I don't think the commentator or the pundit can be like got at for asking that question based on just the catalogue we have in England. That's what I mean. Obviously, we've got West Ham after this. Do you think we will actually rotate?
No. I think we'll play the same team. I think the West Ham game will be the only game that we rotate for. I can't see any rotation for especially. Here's the thing. I get that you do need to rotate, and there's a few people in our team that need to play now. Like Gomez, Nunes. There's a few players who they need to be given some game time now. But changing a winning team is also a little bit silly. So if you beat AC Milan, really you're supposed to take that same team and bounce into the Bournemouth game. And if he made like 2 or 3 changes and we didn't win, wouldn't people turn around and also have the other side of the coin and be like, well, why did he change a winning team? You know, what he's done is what's messed it up. So yeah, it's a bit of a catch-22 in that one, isn't it? I think Nunes definitely should start. I think Joey at left back is a good shout as well. But yeah.
We're gonna get into the lineup. I'm with you. I get the notion that if your team wins, you stick with the same team, but because this is going to be such a long season potentially, and because the ferocity of the Premier League and just football in general nowadays, plus we spoke about it before we went on air, the fact there's another international break in a couple of weeks, which is going to burn the players again. Like, I think we need to start seeing a bit of rotation. I wouldn't go crazy in this game, but he shout to Jamie, even for the West Ham game, I wouldn't go like fully like 11 players in, 11 players out either. So like, if you start rotating now, then it means you don't have to do things like so radically for that. So, boy, we'll see. If you haven't already, guys, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. We are going to now do a predicted starting 11. So we'd love to get your guys' input on this as well. In goal, is there any chance we see Kelleher this game, or will he be seen in West Ham against West Ham?
I think it'll be West Ham. I think it'll be West Ham. Shout out El Rodri, by the way. I'm 27 months a member. Big up yourself, bro. Much appreciated, man. I don't know about the 9-0, bro. But
that'd be great. I mean, what was it? 9-0? Was it 7 or no? It was 9-0 last time, innit?
I can't remember when that 9-0 happened, but it was.
So that happened in the 22-23 season. So it was Elliot got the first. I think Diaz got a brace. Carvalho got one. Trent got one. I think Virgil got one. I think.
That was our season. That was our worst season under Klopp. That season. and we
Yeah,
still
but
managed to beat Man United 7-0
smashed
and
them,
Bournemouth
and
9-0.
Bobby got one, I believe, as well.
How weird is that, bro? That we beat Bournemouth 9-0, we beat Man United 7-0, but it was our worst season. That was such a weird season, man. And we won the thingy against Man City. Like, it was such a weird,
Yeah, we beat
sporadic
them at home.
season. Yeah, it was so weird, bro. We
Yeah,
beat. Remember, we done the double over City at the beginning of the season. We beat them in the Community Shield, and then we beat them at home in the league about a month or two later. So that season was just weird. It was such a weird season, bro.
But remember, we beat Man United 7-0, and then the week after we went to Bournemouth and lost 1-0. So it was the most inconsistent season we've ever had, in my opinion.
Yeah. It was a weird. That was a very. Do you know why I think that season was weird? It was the season showing we still had the talent, but the talent was coming to the end. So it was like there could be those random games where we could like thump someone, but then when the legs really start feeling it, that's when you can go and lose at Bournemouth, and you're like, how the hell did we go and lose at Bournemouth? It's like, well, because Hendo's legs are gone, Flacco's legs are gone. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're just not the same. Even to a degree, Bobby's legs were gone a bit. Like, it was like, yeah, we're not the same. I think that was the beginning of seeing Robbo's legs were going a little bit as well. It was a weird, it was just a weird time that season. And it was the worst kit we've had under Nike as well, which made it worse because it was like,
We're gonna have a discussion about football kits and all that. I might even reach out to someone who's like a connoisseur of kits for that show, because I think Nike get an unfair rap, but I don't want to go into it. I want to save that for an actual show.
Nike have actually kind of done well when you actually
I believe so as well.
Yeah,
But all right, Trent at right back.
Yeah, I think so. Is this what we think he'll do, or what we would do?
What we think he'll do.
Trent,
if we do what we think, what we want to do, then I'm going to potentially do a madness in it. Ibu and Verge.
I think he might go with Kwanzaa to give Ibu a rest.
Okay. I was thinking that. I didn't say it, but I was thinking it.
But let's put Ibu because it's more likely. But I think that could be where he does. If we've got a team doing the things that we're supposed to be doing right now, which is analysing things more from the sports science point of view and whatever, and there's new training regimes that are being done and all that, then Ibu's fitness is something that hopefully they would have looked at. I mean, you said they did, right? Because you said they've made him lose a little bit of weight, which they hope will put less pressure on. Oh, maybe it was Matt that told me.
Matt, that weren't me.
Yeah, like apparently he's like lost a couple of pounds in weight because it will put less pressure on his body structure with the injuries or whatever.
He doesn't look like he's lost weight.
Yeah, apparently it's just a couple of pounds, but it does make a difference in terms of like sports science and whatever. And if that's the case, then obviously they are making sure that they can try and keep him fit and not have the little niggles that he gets and whatnot. So I would probably say rest him when you can as well, based on that, and don't rinse him out. Yeah. So bring in Kwanzaa or even Joey.
But you think he'll be Ibu though?
Maybe, and then he'll think he won't play him in the cup. But at home to Bournemouth, I don't see a problem with Kwanzaa starting if that's what we did.
Left back.
I think Robbo will be back in.
You think so? Yeah. I do as well, to be honest. Left back's a position we're gonna have to look at the end of the season potentially.
I don't think it's a major issue for this season. I just think it needs to be addressed next season.
Yeah. Pivot stays the same in your opinion?
Yeah. Unless God willing, McAllister was completely fine, and he was only brought off to rest him, not to because of anything. Then go again.
I do hope we don't burn out Gravenberch,
Yeah. Do you think playing the way that we're playing is less taxing physically or the same as under Klopp? Because I've been trying to think about it. Some of our players do go ham in games, though,
Szoboszlai. You talk about Szoboszlai.
Not even just Szoboszlai, bruv. Like Diaz does go ham. He does a lot of running.
Yeah. But I think it's the type of running as well. So I think in the Klopp system, there was a lot of sprinting. like a lot of sprinting. Whereas this, it feels as though we let the ball do a lot of the work and we only sprint when we have to. So yeah, obviously we still run because the basic ethos of a slot team is that you still outwork the opposition, but you also outsmart them now as well. Whereas with Klopp, I think he always had it in his mind of we are just gonna burn through this team. We're just gonna. I'm trying to think of like a Tony Ferguson, for example. I think Tony Ferguson is the best way to describe Liverpool under Klopp. In his peak, no one wanted it with him. No one wanted any smoke because he would put a pace on you. You couldn't live with him. By the end of the fight, your face is cut up. Cut up. But when the wheels fell off and one person figured him out, he slowed down, the pace slowed down, he started to get found out. And I think that started to happen with us a little bit. Whereas now I think we're way more calculated as a team, even though we still have the work ethic. So we kind of have the best of both worlds now.
So we have to, so maybe it's kind of like the last 9 years that's making us think about players getting tired more so than it is reality. Then maybe. Yeah. But for Gravenberch, what we got to make sure that we're good.
Grav's played every minute of every game so far, though, if I'm not mistaken, hasn't he?
Yeah, and that's coming off the back of 2 seasons of being in and out of the team. So it's like try and make sure that you don't push him too far. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. And what's international played, if I'm not mistaken, most of the minutes there as well.
That wound me up. I'm sitting there watching the games at the Euros saying, why ain't Gravenberch getting no game time?
Yeah, now
and then as soon as he starts balling out for Liverpool, then Thingy starts to play him, and it's just like, nah, bruv, go back to not playing him. Let him rest, man. What's wrong with you?
They're gonna do what's right for them, though, innit? As always. In the 10. You reckon stays the same again off the back of a goal?
It has to, because Elliot ain't ready. Because really and truthfully, Elliot's the one that you would swap him for, isn't it? But he's somebody who needs to be rested, you know, so we don't.
Jones not get a shout?
Not when the game means this much. Jones needs more game time to start. Because like we were saying, we have to win this game. So it would be a bit weird to have Jones in there because Jones is out of rhythm.
Yeah.
But Szoboszlai does need to be rested.
True.
He does. Like, he definitely needs to be rested.
Yeah. Obviously, right-hand side takes care of itself. Another player that, in my opinion, needs to get a little rest as well.
Well, here's the thing. Does that 2 or 3 minutes against AC Milan suggest that Chiesa is still miles off of being fit? Or is he ready?
I don't think he's ready yet. But he could be for the West Ham game. He could be ready to play like 60 minutes for the West Ham game, for example.
I definitely think Chiesa starts the West Ham game. I'll be quite concerned if he didn't.
I wouldn't be concerned, only because remember, we had no preseason at all, innit?
I know, but that would have been 3 weeks up until that point of training with Liverpool. So, I mean, surely that's enough to now be match ready. Obviously not match fit, but be match ready. Do you know what I mean? Maybe. Like 3 weeks. Yeah. Remember, people like Trent.
Chiesa did play in the Euros as well.
Yeah, but Italy went out early though, bro.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Yeah. Think about people like Trent and Ibu who only just got back, and then they were in the first game of the season, and they only got back like 2 weeks before.
True, very true.
So I'd be a little concerned if Chiesa's not ready for the West Ham game. To give an hour at least, like you said, do you know what I mean? That it'd be a bit weird.
Big up Emil, John. Hope you're well, bro.
Yes, Emil, big up yourself, G.
All right, the 2 most, for me, difficult positions to predict here. Left wing. I know what I would do. I'm playing Gakpo. Or should I say I'm starting Gakpo? I watched the game back. Excellent. Has to, for me, start. But Willie don't.
Yeah, I agree. And it's a little bit of a shame for Diaz, who's actually been playing well. But you got to keep the man in who's in form, innit? That's just the point of having a squad. I think it's favoritism if you play Diaz. Like Gakpo clearly plays so well that you like, yep, go on, mate. Couple of days time, go and give me that again. And then if Gakpo doesn't play as well, then you're like, all right, cool. Diaz can come back in, but
All right,
hopefully Cody can cook again.
Here's why I played devil's advocate though. Is it favoritism considering Diaz played well up until the Nottingham Forest game?
Not favoritism in the sense of like you blatantly just like Diaz over Gakpo, but it would be like, rah. One had a bad game, one had a good game. I totally understand not punishing one for one bad game when they had 3 brilliant games. But if he's had the best game more recently, just keep the form going. Bringing the other guy back in is a little bit of a you like him more. Do you get what I mean? If his last game was a bad game and the other person's last game was a good game, it's like, yeah, it's a tiny bit of favoritism. Not maybe Klopp level favoritism, but just a little bit of favoritism. So I would like to hope that Cody plays.
Up top, Nunes got a start, right?
It has to be, but he's going to play Jota.
I personally think Nunes starts this game. Personally,
I hope you're right because I think Nunes would do well against Bournemouth if he gets the whole game. But I just
he played one of Nunes' best games last season was against Bournemouth away. Like he was excellent in that game.
Was that the cup game, or are you talking about the league game?
No, even a cup game where he come off the bench and scored. But in the league, he scored a brace in that game, and he was just a menace that day. It was excellent. Genuinely one of his best performances in the Liverpool shirt last season against Bournemouth. It was at their place. I don't think he played the one at Anfield. He was suspended, I think, for that game.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
was that after you got the red card against Crystal Palace? Because we had Bournemouth at home quite early in the season last year.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, but he was brilliant.
Actually, probably around the same time we've got them now. Actually, when we think about it. 3-4 games.
Yes, yeah.
Very similar time.
So yeah, that would be that's the team I think he'll go with. And if I'm going to be honest, maybe apart from Robbo, I'd still probably go Tsimikas. That would be the team I'd play as well, or I'd start, should I say?
I'd go Gomez or Tsimikas over Robbo at left back, but again, I'm not mad at Robbo playing.
Yeah. But yeah, that is the game or the team.
That pivot could become something so special.
I'm gonna be real with you. I never thought I'd say this, and maybe I am being a little premature here, but I'll say it. And if it comes back to haunt me, then I'll do the Captain Sparrow stuff. You know, I've got no shame in that. Gravenberch and I won't even say McAllister. I think everyone knew what McAllister was on. Gravenberch and the way he's playing this role may make us as a club completely rethink what type of profile of player we go for. We still need another midfielder, arguably 2.
But will it though, bro? Because the profile we're going for is literally what we kind of have.
Zubimendi's not like. I don't think Zubimendi's like Gravenberch.
No, I mean in terms of the way he thinks and how he's good with the football, etc. Like, because remember, he's not just a destroyer and that's it. He is a ball-playing central defensive midfielder. So, like, it's kind of along the lines of Gravenberch.
No, I hear that. The one thing I'd say where Zubimendi falls a little bit short, though, he's not the most athletic. He's more similar to McAllister than Gravenberch. And if again, I'd love to see Morton play. Doesn't seem like that's going to happen though. But like, I wonder if we need. It's crazy. I'm going to say this. And shout out to Lakers as well because me and him are messaging back and forth about this. I wouldn't be surprised now, or I wouldn't be that upset if we went for a player who can play at 8/10 before we went for a DM now.
Or rather than just getting someone in the team already that we just buy a DM and then push him forward. So
you're saying push Gravenberch forward?
No, Mac.
Push. Well, Mac you know, my dream is for McAllister to play as 10. But my ultimate dream is Musiala comes to Liverpool, but that ain't gonna happen.
Like Mustafa's saying, if we had have pulled off Zubimendi and there hadn't been any stupidness and he'd just wanted to move, we got him and he was here right now. Grav, Zubi, and Mac would be the best midfield in the league, in my opinion.
I think it's debatable, but it's definitely up there.
If that clicked, obviously,
it'd be crazy.
If it clicked,
it'd be crazy.
But how you wouldn't be able to stop? How would you control a team with those 3 players if they clicked, if they
And
got
then,
it, they
and then
knew
remember,
it.
behind that, you still got Sabos like Elliot, Jones. Like, it'd be crazy.
Plus the solid foundation of Virgil and Ibu to help them to be able to, you know what I mean? Like, it would have been an amazing midfield. I get more now that we've played football while we won the Zubimendi than I did at the time when
Do you
we
now
were
see
trying to
why I'm
get him.
so hyped about getting Zubi?
It would have been amazing. It would have been
Oh,
amazing.
man.
And bro, let's just hope that it was that his home team pulled on his heartstrings and now they've messed him about. We still get him in January.
I don't know, man. You know my
Sociedad
thoughts on
aren't
it,
doing well at the moment, which is probably extra like pressure on the whole situation. Who knows? Who knows?
We will
But that
see.
them three in midfield, if it clicked, based on what we've already seen Mac and Grav doing and knowing how good Zubimendi is, if we get him and it clicks, bro, oh my days.
Shout out to Mustafa as well, with Bishetic and Neoni developing as well.
Yeah.
Could be
And Basetic is in
crazy.
good hands now, pause.
It's
mad.
crazy. All right. But people, if you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Drift it is at time, score prediction time. I usually make you go first. I'll go first on this.
So by the way, just quickly for Heskey, you see what the difference would be if McAllister plays the 10, bro. He's not going to be playing the 10 in the way that Soboslai is playing it. So don't think it won't work because he won't just be doing extra running and all that kind of stuff.
Knitting. You just be knitting.
Yeah, he'll be knitting everything together,
knitting,
and
bro.
he'll become more of that older guard type number 10.
Yeah.
Than what Soboslai is. Do you get what I mean? So like it won't be McAllister's running around, it doesn't work. He won't do that. He's only doing that because Soboslai's got the legs to do it. And don't get me wrong, bringing Soboslai out of the 10, we could maybe lose something. And a couple of games in, we might be like, no, we got to bring Soboslai back in, you know, because we're missing the legs. But I think the control that we would have out of that situation would be the key to why it would be so good. Do you get what I mean? And because all three of them can do the same job, they'd probably just be on a rotational conveyor belt, bro, with just make sure we've always got two, but whoever feels like they want to go and be the 10, if it suits it, go and do it. Zubimendi's capable of getting goals. He's done it at Sociedad his whole career. Gravenberch had proved he's box to box, and McAllister's proved that he can get goals. So they could just rotate and just make sure, as long as there's always two, they could rotate, and it wouldn't even just be a max the only 10. For 10 minutes, it might be Grav. For 10 minutes, it might be Zubimendi. Like, we could just rotate that midfield.
You're pulling on my heartstrings with Zubimendi. You're pulling on my heartstrings, man.
It's mad, bro. It's mad how good that midfield
I just got over him, bro, and you're telling me how good the cooking is and, you know, the holidays that we had in the past. Like,
yeah, no, it's true. We got to start thinking about it for real in case it don't happen. But
the rumor is, though, that in January, we want to get a DM and the left-sided centre-back. So if we did that in January, Richard Hughes might be off fraud watch. Right now,
I mean, it could be Varela. Right now, they could be telling them, like, hurry up and get your replacement because we're going to come back in with an actual realistic bid, not that dumb 80 mil they asked us for at the back end of the transfer window. Come back in with a more realistic 55, 60, but they've had 3-4 months to get a replacement now, so it's easier for them. Do you get what I mean?
Zubi for me still makes more sense than Varela, though. And Zubi would...
He would still be the one, But I think Varela's probably more obtainable, and that might be why we go for him more.
Maybe. But yeah, score predictions. I'm gonna go for a I'm actually gonna go for a 2-0 win.
I'm gonna go 2-0 as well. I think Bournemouth are definitely capable of getting a goal, but hopefully we can keep them out and get a win, man. Get a win and get back on track in the league, which will be a beautiful way to go into the West Ham game. And then, God's willing, we can win the West Ham game, go into the international break feeling a lot better than we did going into the... Actually, no, tell a lie. We actually felt good going into this international break. It's what messed up our momentum.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So, yeah, that's another thing as well. After the international break, we just got to hope that the players don't lose focus like they did in the Forest game.
Yeah, completely agree. People, thank you very much for watching, listening. If you haven't already, smash the like button, switch on the notification bell, and subscribe. We're on the road to 35,000 subs, so please help us to get there. We will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll definitely be back, probably in the afternoon, guys. Hoping to do a show, hoping to do a Prem panel show. So we'll definitely have at least one show for you tomorrow. So make sure you check out that as well. and then we'll go from there, people. Drift, what game are you doing on Tifo tonight?
Yeah, that's why I was just going to drop the link in the chat right now, just in case somebody has it. Guys, come and join me. Jamie will be with me as well as my special guest tonight. Big up, Jamie. And yeah, we're doing the Man City Inter Milan, which is a big game. But we'll also be keeping an eye on all the results of the evening as well. So if you want a Champions League rundown, guys, make sure you come and join us. Yeah, Yards, I know you'll be there. Big up, bro. You know what? Yards has actually been one of
legend. Yards has been a legend for time, though, man.
No, he has. But in terms of Tifo as well, he's been there every stream. There are others who I don't want to forget names, but obviously because Yards is in the building right now. Ali, I know Ali, yeah, just day one. So big up you guys for the support. And yeah, Drifty or Kopish is the referral. I'm just putting that in the chat as well, just to make sure. In case
Matt's doing a watch long tomorrow night, A9. I'm also going to be doing a show on the Sanderson show after Drift and Jamie have finished, so maybe about 10:15 as well. Combat catch up, just speaking about some of the topics on MMA at the moment. So if you're a fan, please join over there. Very close to 2K over there as well. So we'd be very, very appreciative if you guys could.
Yeah, Anila. Yeah. They're every stream. Big up, man. Big up. Yeah, there's a couple people who is definitely not gonna notice their support for the Tifo movement. So big up to everyone. If I forgot anyone by name, I definitely appreciate it.
Cool. So people, that is us. If you haven't already, smash that like button. Till we see you later, tomorrow or tomorrow evening. Stay safe, stay blessed. We are Kopish around, people. Have a good rest of the day wherever you are.
Peace.
Didn't miss it, John. Let's bring it back. Shout out to John. Big up Cow and Drift. Liverpool 5-0. John, I hope you're right. And John, you're a legend. So yeah, never forget you, bro. Big up yourself, man.
John's never that optimistic. That's kind of mad.
John's optimistic. No, John's optimistic.
No, but never I've never seen him go for like a 5-0.
Not a 5-0. It's usually around a 3-0 mark.
He might be onto something. He might be having a feeling right now that we haven't. Yeah. Hey, if we win 5-0, I might put a cheeky bet on that actually.
Let's run it. But yes, now we're officially out, people. Big up everyone. Take it easy.